IELTS preparation. General vocabulary for crime and policing. Discover key vocabulary often seen in topics like crime and justice. Practice using these terms with a fun activity included in the video. Arrest. Definition. Taking someone into custody legally, often at a police station, by authorized officials. Usage. The police made an arrest after identifying the suspect at the scene of the crime. Part of speech, noun, verb, context, discussed in legal and criminal investigations. Barrister. Definition: a lawyer qualified to represent clients in higher courts of law. Usage: the barrister presented a strong argument during the appeal in the Supreme Court. Part of speech, noun, context, relevant in legal systems, particularly in court proceedings. Conviction. Definition: a legal declaration of someone's guilt made by a judge or jury during a trial. Usage: her conviction was based on overwhelming evidence presented in court. Part of speech, noun, context, used in discussions about legal outcomes and court rulings. Court. Definition: the place or process where trials occur, presided over by a judge or jury. Usage: the case was heard in a federal court last week. Part of speech, noun, context, common in discussions about trials and legal procedures. Defendant/accused. Definition: a person charged with breaking the law and defending themselves in court. Usage: the defendant pleaded not guilty to all charges. Part of speech, noun, context, frequently mentioned in legal cases and trials. Evidence/proof. Definition: information, statements, or items used to support or refute claims in a case. Usage: the fingerprints served as key evidence in the murder trial. Part of speech, noun, context, central to investigations and legal arguments. Guilty. Definition: found legally responsible for committing a crime or wrongdoing. Usage: the jury determined he was guilty of robbery. Part of speech, adjective, context, used in legal contexts to describe culpability. Innocent. Definition: not found responsible for a crime or wrongdoing after investigation or trial. Usage: she was declared innocent and released from custody. Part of speech, adjective, context, often heard in court verdicts or legal defenses. Jail, prison. Definition: a facility where convicted individuals serve their sentences for crimes. Usage: he was sentenced to 5 years in prison for embezzlement. Part of speech, noun, context, discussed in sentencing and criminal justice. Judge. Definition: an official who presides over legal cases and makes decisions based on law. Usage: the judge carefully reviewed the evidence before issuing a verdict. Part of speech, noun, context, central to courtrooms and legal discussions. Jury. Definition: a panel of citizens tasked with determining the outcome of a legal case. Usage: the jury deliberated for hours before announcing their verdict. Part of speech, noun, context, common in criminal trials and legal systems. Lawyer. Definition: a person licensed to provide legal advice, represent clients, or practice law. Usage: she hired a lawyer to handle her property dispute. Part of speech, noun, context, commonly mentioned in legal settings and disputes. Offense, crime. Definition: breaking a rule or law by committing an illegal act. Usage: shoplifting is considered a minor offense, but it's still illegal. Part of speech, noun, context, used when discussing legal violations and actions. Probation. Definition: the conditional release of a convicted individual, often with supervision. Usage, he was sentenced to probation instead of jail time. Part of speech, noun, context, relevant in criminal justice and sentencing. Prosecution, definition, the legal team or entity responsible for presenting a case against the accused. Usage, the prosecution presented key evidence during the trial. Part of speech, noun, context, common in courtroom and legal proceedings. Reoffending, definition, the act of committing another crime after being released from custody. Usage, efforts to reduce reoffending include counseling programs. Part of speech, verb, noun, context, discussed in criminal rehabilitation and studies. Solicitor, definition, a lawyer who specializes in preparing legal documents and giving legal advice. Usage, she consulted a solicitor to draft her will. Part of speech, noun, context, common in legal discussions and formal documents. Statement, definition, a formal account provided to police during an investigation or interview. Usage, he gave a detailed statement about the incident to the authorities. Part of speech, noun, context, used in police reports and investigations. Trial, definition, the legal process to determine whether an individual or organization is guilty. Usage, the trial lasted 3 weeks and involved multiple witnesses. Part of speech, noun, context, central to courtrooms and justice systems. Verdict, definition, the final decision made by a judge or jury in a legal case. Usage, the jury returned a verdict of guilty after deliberation. Part of speech, noun, context, found in legal judgments and courtroom settings. Witness, definition, someone who testifies in court to provide evidence about a legal case. Usage, the witness's testimony was crucial to the case. Part of speech, noun, context, common in court proceedings and legal trials. Exercise 2, Question 1. Should police in your area be more or less strict in your local area? Choose the correct words to complete the IELTS questions. Words, judges, vandalism, jail, verdicts, reoffending. I believe the police in my area should be stricter when it comes to low-level crimes such as, because this would discourage people from, as they'd be afraid of being sent to, again. Additionally, I think that, should impose tougher penalties on guilty, to ensure criminals are kept off the streets. Pause the video and take your time to answer. Answer: I believe the police in my area should be stricter when it comes to low-level crimes such as vandalism, because this would discourage people from reoffending, as they'd be afraid of being sent to jail again. Additionally, I think that judges should impose tougher penalties on guilty verdicts to ensure criminals are kept off the streets. Question 2. Is your country a safe country? Words: conviction, corruption, drug trafficking, arrest. Unfortunately, my country faces a significant issue with, and the production of illegal substances. Another factor contributing to the lack of safety is among police and government officials. Besides being corrupt, police hear rarely individuals for crimes, so the overall rate remains incredibly low. Pause the video and take your time to answer. Answer: unfortunately, my country faces a significant issue with drug trafficking and the production of illegal substances. Another factor contributing to the lack of safety is the corruption among police and government officials. Besides being corrupt, police here rarely arrest individuals for crimes, so the overall conviction rate remains incredibly low. Thank you for watching. Give a thumbs up and subscribe for more English practice exercises.